Yo, what is going on? 2 more days and the Eagles finally play their first NFL game in the 2022 season. Who's excited? Because I am, definitely 100%. And more news is coming out with the Philadelphia Eagles, updates and other things that are happening. Howie Roseman is still trying to figure out what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know, because the Eagles already saved some more money, but let's get straight into the news. This should be pretty interesting. What is going on, guys? So some news coming out of Philadelphia that the Eagles have not only restructured Lane Johnson and Jake Elliott to save $6.9 million, they saved more money today. More. They restructured Isaac Seumalo's contract, adding one more voided year and converting some of his money to his signing bonus. The Eagles save $9.5 million with a $3.69 million savings, which is kind of crazy. So the Eagles have $9.5 million as of right now. And what the hell are they doing with it? I have no idea. But I think some other news has come out about another player that the Eagles might try to extend, which I've said this for months. Okay, I've said this for months, and it's going to be Jayvon Hargrave. Okay, the news has come out that the Eagles and Jayvon Hargrave have been in talks on a possible extension. He is 29 years old, 7.5 sacks last year with 61 tackles, okay? Now, before he started getting doubled, for the 4th, 5th week of the season, it really sucked because we didn't get much, there was really no help from the edge. There was no help from Fletcher Cox having another down year. And potentially you can lose 3 defensive linemen between Cox, Hargrave, and Brandon Graham. Now, Brandon Graham could come back on a minimum deal next year, but that would have to be the case because there's no way they're putting that much money into the defensive line unless they draft somebody next year, which I think that's what they're going to do. But with Fletch, probably not going to be here. Jordan Davis takes the mantle next to Hargrave, and Hargrave gets that big extension. Plus, I think Hargrave, they will save money between $8 to $13 million from that move if they extend him. So they will save even more money down the line as well. So look for that Jayvon Hargrave extension. I've been talking about it for the past few months already that he has got to be a possible, definitely a possible player that the Eagles are going to extend. It only makes so much sense. Even though Derek Barnett is only on contract throughout the 2023 season, they could void his contract and get out of it after this year as well. So you're not losing 4 defensive linemen, okay? You're going to at least lose 2 if that's the case between Cox and Graham, which I hope Graham comes back if he has a good year, but a very minimum contract, which I don't think he wants to play anywhere else. But it should be very, very interesting. Go give him that extension. He definitely deserves it. I think he's going to play very well, very, very good the next few years, especially what we have built so far right now. Other news that came out, this from Elliott Shore-Parks. I really don't put out too much news on Elliott Shore-Parks, really never. But maybe he knows something that maybe others don't. Notice how Cam Akers, the running back for the Rams, even when they played last night, barely played at all. And people were kind of wondering why he didn't get playing time. Is it because that there's a potential trade in progress? Okay, and obviously with the last year of his contract. Oh, actually, no, he's not got one more year on his contract in 2023, around $1.8 million this year. That's it. Obviously, the Rams need draft capital because they don't have much draft capital the next couple years because of all the moves they have made. It kind of depleted their draft resource. Okay, so if Cam Akers barely played in that game and he's a starting running back and barely played, the Eagles might be in on trading for Cam Akers. I don't know if that's even the case. Is Trey Sermon the guy here? I mean, they tried to trade for him before he actually was coming off waivers for the Eagles to pick him up. So I don't know if they think Trey Sermon's the answer or they just wanted to get somebody in the building. If they think maybe, he is a good running back, that'll be a nice number 4 for a short yardage type guy for us. But maybe they have their eyes set on another running back. I mean, you got a couple more dates till the season starts. I mean, they can make a move whenever they want. It could be during the season, after the first game, whatever the case may be. Maybe they want to pull this off maybe after the first game because he's not going to be able to play anyway. But we'll see what happens with this. Cam Akers could be a move the Eagles make. How much is it going to cost? Probably not much. I wouldn't say it's going to cost that much to trade for him. But like I said, Rams need draft capital. So anything that they can get is definitely going to help them in the long run. From, this is another year where they won a Super Bowl last year. They did not look good in that first game. And, they have a lot of high expectations this year from all the moves that were made, depleting pretty much most of your draft capital. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. You guys take this with a grain of salt, and we'll kind of see what happens with this together. We want to talk about the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's pretty good. 100% fully healthy Philadelphia Eagles team going to this game on Sunday against Detroit. Other than Brett Toth and Tyree Jackson being on IR, I'm talking starter-wise, you're pretty good. Full participants for Josiah Scott, Miles Sanders, Hargrave, and Derek Barnett. So very happy with the injury report. But to go to the Lions injury report, it's pretty bad for the offensive line. They've been shuffling offensive line all week. Not only their starting center's out, their backup center is only practiced 2 days, so he's hurt. Halapuli Vaitai, the ex-Eagle left tackle, that's a Super Bowl champion, he's on IR for the whole entire year. So they are shuffling nonstop offensive linemen. I'm not going to say that this should be easier, that this is a guaranteed win for the Philadelphia Eagles, because how many times last year did other teams have injuries that we could take advantage of and we still lost those games? So I'm not going to say all of that. I'm not going to say any of that stuff to be like, oh, this should be an easy game, blah, blah, blah. I want to see if this team could pass rush without a blitz package. And then if we're in trouble, they got to start doing more than what they're doing. Jonathan Gannon needs to step it up. This is a good test game for the Philadelphia Eagles against a team that's rebuilding. That's just, still got years to go to really be anything with Dan Campbell going into his second year as a head coach. And there's just a lot of new pieces with the Lions. They're still trying to find their way. Not saying that they're not better than last year. They might be a little bit, but it's not really saying much. So I'm not going to say anything's going to be easy, because really the Eagles can only beat themselves in this game. Any game, really, from the talent they have on paper. It's going to be very interesting. So that is the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles. And now I see some side news. Everyone got quite as scared today when A.J. Brown got stung by a bee, I think, after practice. And, he didn't have an allergic reaction or anything, because if he did, then he probably wouldn't be playing tomorrow, which really sucks. But he is good to go. He is totally fine. Nothing happened. It was just a sting, and that was it. So he's ready to go. He smiled and said, I'm ready to get out there and do my thing. So, that was a little bit of a scare today. I'm not saying if we lost A.J. Brown tomorrow against the Lions, it would have made definitely it's a big difference when he's not on the field, but I think we could have handled our way without A.J. Brown in this game anyway. So, not saying that the Detroit Lions are going to be easy, but I could deal with one game without A.J. Brown because of something stupid like this that happens. Things just happen. It is what it is. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. What do you guys think about the restructure? Eagles saved $9.5 million. What are they doing with that money? How do you guys feel about a Jayvon Hargrave extension and saving more money? The possibility of saving more money with that extension. The Cam Akers barely playing in the Rams-Buffalo game last night. And could the Eagles be trading for him? Only cost $1.8 million for this year with 2 years left on his contract. Is Trey Sermon the actual answer, or do you think they have another move up their sleeve? And how do you feel about Eagles versus Lions? And obviously the injuries for the offensive line for the Lions, shuffling so many players this week. And I don't know what that lineup's going to look like, but it's probably not going to look great. And the Eagles got to take advantage of that whole entire thing. So other than that, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. And I will see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.